What's up, Cancer, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs? Welcome to your tarot reading here at the Intuitive Teacup. Please come into this reading with an open heart and an open mind. Take away only what resonates for you, and please release the rest. Do trust your own intuition above all else, because ultimately you are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. All right, that just looks sloppy. It's like killing my my need for organization over here. All right, we're gonna end with oracle cards. I just pulled those in advance. Let's hop into the tarot. Hopefully I said my spiel. Most importantly, I just saw the death card. Someone's got a Scorpio. Let's set the intention now, though, to get my Cancers out there watching, my lovely Cancers, some clear, helpful, and insightful messages for wherever they are currently at on their spiritual path. How we doing with eclipse season, Cancer? Solar eclipse. Monday, April 8th, I believe, is the date at 19 degrees of Aries. So if you have planets around 19 degrees of Cancerian energy, you're really going to feel that. All right, here we go. What is the issue at hand? Temperance, a need to find balance. So we're going to talk about all this. We're going to talk about advice or guidance that you need to take to get through a situation, the immediate help available to you, what's going on in the past, and how is that impacting you mentally and emotionally. The ultimate goal or desired outcome, and then we're going to talk about how to get there. All right, bottom of your deck is the Knight of Cups. So moving towards who or what you love, needing to go at a pace that is in alignment with your own body's rhythm and that of which the universe is offering to us at this time. And there might be something uncomfortable about the pace, especially in Aries season. It's kind of fiery, it's go-getter energy, and I don't know, with the Knight of Cups showing up, I'll leave him showing. Looks like a pirate, doesn't he? with the Knight of Cups showing up, it's like sometimes we don't always want to go at that pace. It doesn't always feel comfortable. So maybe there's a need to find balance with Temperance showing up as the center card in your spread. A need to do both, like have some days or some hours or some weeks where you are very much motivated and going at it versus allowing you to kind of rest and recuperate and still being good to your body. So in the past, you have the Four of Pentacles. This is like squeezing every last drop out of the money you have. Sorry, let me rephrase that. I don't mean that in the sense of like you're bankrupt. I don't mean it that way. It's like being very frugal and thrifty, but when you don't really have tons to work with. So some of you may be going through a period where finances are a little bit tight, and so you do have to be very choosy on how you're spending your money. But like this is the type of energy, because it can be Capricorn energy, where it's like you purchase something at a store and like the person overcharged you by 5 cents, and like you go up to the register and being like, excuse me, I was charged 5 cents more, so like I'd like a return, please. Like it's that type of energy where like the average person would be like, you know what, it's 5 cents, whatever. Like, it's like that'll come and go easily, just accidentally, you drop a dime or you find it. Like it's that type of like very like everything in like some sort of spreadsheet or graph. It's being very frugal and props to you for being cautious and careful with your money, but just careful that doesn't turn into like a miserly energy, because sometimes it can be like miser energy, nickel and diming people when it's like, that's not a great way to live your life. So ultimately, though, you want financial freedom. If this is about finances, and you can choose to view it from whatever lens you want, but you have the Fool energy, which is like, it's lovely, it's beautiful, and it doesn't feel like you're trying to play catch up. It's almost like she's running here, but it's almost like there's something joyful that she's going to. It's not like exerting it's not exerting wasted energy to get to a goal that you're not even motivated to get to. It's almost like the idea of having to play catch up a little bit. It's like, now I can just do this for fun. So if you're working to pay bills, it's almost like you're trying to get to that point where finances are reset, and now it's like you're just able to enjoy the work you do, or you're able to like enjoy the journey, right? I know that's a little bit silly to say, but let's see. The immediate help you have available to you is Knight of Wands. So I'm almost getting you have really good creative ideas right now. You do have zest, and you do have enthusiasm. You have a curious mind, and you have a sense of humor that's also going to be like a good companion to you. It's going to help get you by. There could also be a fire sign who has helped supporting you, more in a way of being like a good advocate for you, or someone who, it's not that they can do the work for you, but that it's someone who you can, rely on for friendship, or that, classic fire sign. They know how to empower people. They know how to get people excited and enthusiastic about something, kind of like your coach on the sidelines. It's like, come on, Cancer, you got to get your head in the game, right? I mean, it's sort of like what I'm doing for you right now, right? Like getting advice or guidance from someone. Only I'm not a Knight of Wands, so there's someone else in your life. But that's sort of what I mean. It's like someone who you can sort of be yourself with, and I'm hearing the word like unravel. I think it's like be open, be vulnerable, and this person knows how to say just the right thing to get your head back in the game. I really like that. So that's saying that is help that is immediately available to you. For one or two of you, there might be a helpful storyline or narrative going on here about some sort of car or short trip or destination. Just because the car is sticking out so like vividly in this, I'm not sure why that would help you, but maybe that will make sense to you if it is your story. Also, the Knight of Wands, I mean, for all the character flaws he or she may have, one of the assets of the Knight of Wands is that they're in it for a good time. And so for some of you, I think I've said this to you recently, it's like remembering why you got started down this path in the first place, probably because you found it exciting or intriguing, or you thought it would be fun. And because it's coming through as the help, whatever the situation is, it's not diminished of that potential to have fun and lean into sort of the good energy and the good stuff. And yeah, like maybe not everything is ideal, right? Obviously you're going through something and seeking guidance, but I don't know, there's a need to remember to zoom out and experience all of it, not just the bad stuff, to see sort of the wider picture. It's Jupiter energy, right? So the zoom out and remembering, like, I think having faith is going to be really important too with Sagittarius energy. Also knowing that you're learning something very valuable about this. You're probably making or are going to make strong social connections. And yet, travel opportunities might be helpful to you at this time. I don't know, maybe it just has to do with taking a break or taking a vacation. That is that Temperance energy of like, I don't want to say work hard, play hard. That's not typically what temperance means, but it's that same idea of finding a balance between sort of the fire and the water, right? Because assuming most of you guys are strong in water. You do I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna go there. Never mind. You guys like, no, what? Okay, so the advice or guidance for you guys is the Four of Swords. So this is essentially saying qualities that you need that are going to be helpful to you. Being able to unplug and rest and recharge. Because if you're going to be able to get up out of bed every morning and do this, for a while, whatever the situation is, I do think there's a change in your schedule. There's an adjustment being made, and so it's requiring more output or more energy from you. So your rest is absolutely crucial. Like when you think about it, Cancer, that's kind of like a great card to get for your advice. Your advice is like, how do I get myself out of this situation? It's like, you need to rest. You need to be good to your body. Like you don't need to do anything more. What's meant to be will be. Like you've already put in a lot of work and effort. So for some of you, it's just the maintaining of that, the maintenance, the commitment, the dedication, the loyalty to that. But with that, it's almost like there's a big influx of energy in your life now that wasn't there before. So are you spreading yourself too thin? Again, temperance is like balance, moderation. We can't be Superman. That can be very Knight of Wands energy. Like some days you get out there and like you want to do it all. You may have trouble delegating your chores or your tasks or your responsibilities, especially for my Cancer risings. I feel like because for a lot of you, Sagittarius rules your 6th house of like work and routine. And it's a Virgo ruled house. So it's very strongly related to like our output, like the work we do each day. And with Sagittarius energy, it doesn't discriminate. It's like, I want to do it all. That could be this. And like, don't get me wrong, part of that mentality of like, I want to do everything, that serves you. But then again, at what point are you tapping from an empty well, or are you overdoing it and disrespecting your body or your mental health or your physical health and your wellness, right? We are in a fiery energy of Aries, so that Sagittarian 6th house stuff, like there is a focus on positive things that come from this new work and this new routine and this new lifestyle. But like anything with that adjustment, I don't know. I'm hearing like strapped for cash, or are we overspending, or really, it feels like the opposite though. It feels like, we're on our way to financial freedom, but it's almost like you see like the only path to that is like metaphorically jogging on the treadmill until you get there. And maybe the universe is saying like, you don't have to go at that pace. Like it's going to happen. You're going to be out of, you're going to pay off that credit card. You're going to be able to pay that bill, but like maybe it can't happen instantaneously. So like, I know it sounds silly or maybe trite, but like enjoy the process of the struggle. I know that's a weird way of phrasing it, but I think you guys know what I mean. It's like, it's not about like enjoying the hardship of it, but it's like being present to experiencing it and very in Cancerian nature, like feel the feels of it, because you're going to learn something from that. So the Knight of Wands. You're very eager to pay someone back or again, financial freedom, pay off a loan, pay off some sort of debt. You're getting there. Ultimately, like your goal, I think for a lot of you is financial freedom or just freedom in general. But the Six of Pentacles says we have to do it in a balanced way. Again, we can't rush the process. We can't do this all or nothing extreme energy. Maybe that's why the Death card showed itself at the beginning, is like, the Scorpio energy can live very extreme. It's like, like all or nothing energy. And that's not your best bet here. This is like all in good time. All in good time. Just passing the cups back and forth, and the Temperance card. Like taking a piece off, like a piece at a time versus taking the whole chunk at once. Because then it's like, you may be putting yourself in a difficult position in other aspects of life. Like, maybe you got a job and the money's better and now you're going to pay off all your credit card debt, but then you're like, oh, I can barely afford my groceries now. It's something to that extent. That's just a random example, but you understand what I mean? All right, so let's see. So what you're thinking right now, 9 of Wands. This feels like you're trying to like dodge a bullet, or gosh, I don't know what this is. The 9 of Wands is typically kind of defensive energy, but it almost feels like you're hiding, or I don't know, it's deflecting, deferment of payments. Which is funny, like, this feels so like 8th house stuff, but I don't know what would be going through your, not all of you are Cancer risings, of course, but anyway, I'm trying to figure out what that is. It feels like people are coming for you and you're doing your best to like run from them or hide from them. And I don't do fear-based readings, that's not what this is about, but it's also, this is what you're thinking too. So it's not necessarily the truth or the reality. Thinking, you're like mentally, the mental sector is like, I gotta run and hide, or I need a good defense plan. I need a good action plan because things are starting to heat up. Things are starting to get like agitated and like, it's like needing to dodge something or deflect something. It's almost like you want a backup plan if things get too dicey. I don't even know what that means, Cancer, but that's sort of what I'm getting from that. Or again, an escape route too. And you have so many cards of Sagittarius energy. That's what I wasn't going to say before, because I feel like I say that in every reading. Your last month, it's like Sagittarius keeps showing up again and again and again. And like, I don't want to isolate or alienate the people who aren't dealing with Sag, but I'm kind of curious myself. Like, what is this energy? You have tons of Sagittarius coming through in your readings lately. So anyway, that's what I was going to say earlier. I'm like, yep, you know what? I'm not even going to touch it. That's what it was. But again, like, it wants to be seen. So maybe this is going on with a Sagittarius in your life. Maybe this is particularly significant in terms of like, maybe that's what it is, like the Sagittarius 6th house stuff, like the daily routine and rhythm, how that's changing in a beautiful, expansive way, but also where are we overdoing it, and our health could potentially suffer because of that. Just things we need to be aware of. If you want that Ace of Wands, if you want that kinetic energy and that zhuzh and that spark of life and what is it, joie de vivre? I don't know why that's coming through. You have to be able to rest and actually get good sleep at night and watch what you're putting into your body, what food you're eating, minimal alcohol consumption or whatever, drug use. So like, what are you putting into your body, and is it building you up to be a strong warrior, or is it, taking away from the energy that you could be able to exert in a positive way when, you get up and meet the day in the morning? There is such a buoyancy to some of these cards. I don't mean to make it like heavy. You have like Ace of Wands and Knight of Wands. So huge potential for creativity and good ideas and feeling inspired and motivated and action oriented, especially with the Fool. That seems to be the goal. Some of you, fitness might become a really big priority. Getting out into nature, hiking, camping, I don't know, something of the sort here. But make sure you're not running away. Okay, thank you, Spirit. I finally got it. Make sure you're not running away from your problems. And there's two different energies coming through here of people who are doing like the nitty gritty. Again, like I'd like my 5 cents back. There's some Cancers who are leaning into like the heavier Capricorn stuff. Like the Saturn, like, there's no such thing as a free meal, like saying something rude or condescending to the bum on the street asking for your change, which, is so not Cancerian energy. But do you know what I mean? Like there's this like miser energy, and then it's like, oh shit, I know I got bills coming up, but like I'm just gonna like put it in the desk so I don't have to look at the bill, and like I'll deal with it another day. It almost has a 7 of Swords energy here. Not wanting to face the truth of the problem. Some of you're overspending. You almost have like a shopping addiction, and maybe that's something that's just been more recent. But again, where is that shopping addiction coming from? Or that habit, or that pattern, that behavior, that ritual? Almost like, there's a better word for it. Not OCD, but it's like an instinct. It's like a natural thing, like it's programmed into you. We need to be a little bit more analytical of where that's coming from. And for a lot of you, you're overspending to do things that are fun. It's like, well, I really want to go to that concert, and I really want to go on that trip with friends. And like, I'm not saying you can't, but at what point do you sort of have to pump the brakes a little bit and think about sort of your financial future and sort of that egg nest or that safety net or whatever word I'm trying to come up with here. It's like running from your problems. It's like, oh, well, I'll pay it off another day. And again, I know that's not all of you. But that is coming through for some. You seem to be overspending on fun things. Or if you're an artist of some kind, it's like, always buying the latest and greatest, whatever, fill in the blank to do your art. But then, I don't know, I guess the zoom out picture, is it worth it? Do you actually need 500 different colors of paint or whatever it is that you do? Emotionally, where you're at is the Page of Wands, though. So like, this is like you're excited, then like you're like, oh, I guess I'm not gonna do that, but okay, I guess I will. There's such a 7 of Swords energy of where are you self-sabotaging, but to me it's like you're self-sabotaging because you want to have fun, maybe because you don't want to miss out. You have FOMO real bad here with Knight of Wands. Like you don't want to miss out on the thing, but is it worth it? It's like you're always going to be running from this problem if you don't go into like the greater psychological reasons why you're doing the thing or spending the money. Yeah, all right, let's pull some oracles. So this says abundance. I like that. Living an abundant lifestyle. Are you living over your means, though? Is that the right use of that word? Where you're not, I hate this expression. It's like robbing Peter to pay Paul. That's not even mine. Like, I think I've heard that from other people. Like, I get it. It's just kind of a dumb expression. Like, I don't even like saying it. But you know what I mean? Like, strapped for cash and like, oh, well, I'll take it from this fund, but then I'm also going to borrow this. Like, it's using money that you don't even have. I don't know why that's coming through so strongly this week, but it really is, Cancer. I think also this has to do with mindset, sort of the abundance mindset of not looking at always being in the red, or is that the right expression? Being in the red? Yeah, like being in the negative. Abundant mindset, like seeing the world around you as full of potential and sort of being in that mentality of, like money loves me and money is very attracted to me and money feels safe with me. But are you putting those principles into practice too? Like when money is with you, is it safe with you, or are you immediately kicking it out to go pay for, the concert tickets or the this or the that? Being good to your money and almost, this is very Cancerian, like treating it as if it is your child. You have to nurture it and you have to grow it and you have to pay attention to it. But you also don't want to be like nervous mother syndrome where your kid is like, oh my God, I'm nervous because mom's always nervous. Some of you, I'm picking up on some of you may have like a habit, or it's almost like kicking the habit is how it's being relayed to me. So maybe not spending money on, I don't know, cigarettes or booze or I don't know, weed or something where it's like it's not really doing you any favors. It's actually doing you a disservice. And some of you, obviously, if it's an addiction, you're relying on it because you think you need it, but it's actually suppressing a fear or helping you to sort of get through the day when there may be healthier coping strategies, but they're not as instantaneous. Knight of Wands, it's like, I want instant gratification and instant satisfaction. Where Four of Swords might be saying like, hey, we have to settle into this new pattern or this routine without the cigarettes or without the booze or without the crutch that's helping me to get by. But you're going to feel so much better when you're not relying on that thing. But that's what I think this Nine of Wands is. It's like you're fearing like, can I do it without that extra support or that extra crutch in my life. And I mean, maybe for some of you, that's a person or a relationship. It is wanting the freedom from that person, maybe financial freedom. Maybe some of you are in a situationship because you're financially reliant on them. It's like, I want to be on my own. I want to be independent, but what if shit goes down? Do I have a backup plan, you know? Then you have the Firefly, Wander. Something about that is magic. I feel like there's an opportunity that is going to present to you, but it doesn't present as like the 10 of Cups. It's like a small little light. It's like an intuitive feeling. Again, spending time in nature right now would be very helpful for some of you. You know, I know this sounds cheesy, but like talking to the trees, talking to the animals, talking to nature and to the plants. There's something cathartic about that. It's like it's going to help your body hit reset with that Four of Swords. And then for the archetypal character, you have the farmer, cultivation, harvest, and land. So very earthy energy and very Taurian, like from the land. That very much speaks to me about money, bank, financial stuff coming in. So some of you may be meeting with a financial advisor. Some of you, again, may be coming up with some sort of plan to pay off debt or credit card. But also sort of like the life that you're cultivating and what you're reaping from the harvest, the energy you're putting into something. Are you reaping the reward of it and getting it back, not just in the monetary sense, but also like in the pleasure and in the fun, because that's also a really important part of this, but it's all about balance. It's about balance. I don't want to say work hard, play hard, but it is about work in moderation and play in moderation and making those two work in harmony. Very like Chariot vibes. All right, Cancer, that's what I got for you this week. Thanks for joining me today. Please hit the like button. If you're not already, I invite you to subscribe to the channel and make sure you hit the notification bell so you will be alerted in the future when I post readings. Right now, I'm doing weekly readings. I'm not sure that's going to go on forever, but we'll see. But yeah, typically I post every Friday, so make sure you check out the Intuitive Teacup for all those tarot readings. Thanks for joining me today, guys, and I will see you soon for more tarot. Bye.